Once you reach level 10, you're gonna be in iron, and that's kind of where the game sort of starts to begin because now you can lose ranks. What I wanted to do was kind of go over a guide of how to spot the bot. Generally speaking, in these super low levels, you're still going to be facing mostly bots. It's the best way for me to kind of explain what the tells are for bots and exactly how you're gonna know if you're facing a bot or a human. Now, it's not always completely clear, but of course there are certain tells. So right away I get matched up with a guy by the name of Shocker. I guess this makes it really obvious that it's going to be a bot, so I'm going to explain exactly why I knew this was a bot right away. And first of all, obviously his name is Shocker. He's got a Shocker avatar. Most likely that's going to be a bot. Bots have very simple names. A lot of them have just first names like Chad, or I faced a bot called Ezekiel. They don't have anything particularly creative about their names. The most important thing that you can kind of tell is if a bot plays at like a really weird location, they play a card that you would expect them to play elsewhere on a particular turn. That's usually a dead giveaway that you're facing a bot. Humans really typically wouldn't make a really bad play like that, but bots tend to do that very often. So that right there was pretty much a bot play. They went and they played Sarah, which discounts all your cards so that you could play like a bunch of little things. And instead, what the computer does is they typically play a 6-drop on turn 6, almost no matter what. Playing out Spectrum there made absolutely no sense because she buffs your ongoing cards, and they only had one ongoing card, which was Sarah. You can tell that that's a bot because it's just a really dumb play that doesn't make any sense. Again, because I'm still under the level of 20, we're really not going to be facing any humans. It's still really obvious that Death is a bot. I mean, you kind of be a fool to not realize that. Another thing is, if you press retreat later and it immediately gets you out of the game, kind of like this. I know it's just a tutorial and they told me to retreat, but when you retreat later and it immediately takes you out of the game, that is usually a bot, especially if it's at the beginning of a turn. When you end your turn immediately and you don't even think about your play, you just play it and then you end the turn, the computer is always already done with their turn. It's a constant when that happens. Of course, your opponent could just be fast, but it's usually not always the case. That's another dumb bot play when your location is completely filled and then you play this and then you play Hawkeye, who's supposed to be a card that you play on top of in order to get a bonus, and they use that as their last card. Humans don't literally never ever do that. It's only bots that ever do something that stupid. But they are trying to make it a point in this round of how to snap and retreat, so we're gonna forgive them for it a little bit, but it is like it's an extreme example. And again, another dumb bot play, playing Angela and not being able to play on top of her. Bots tend to be really dumb. It might be a ridiculous example, but it's pretty obvious that that was a bot because no human is going to stick around while they're losing 2 locations. And again, another example of a bot play. Hawkeye was supposed to get buffed if you played a card on there, and they didn't do it. Now, I'm kind of surprised that they played Medusa mid, to be honest, because that was actually a good play.
Opponent snapped.
There is another classic sign of a bot. When you get snapped instantly on like turn 4, turn 5, because you are losing the game at that moment, the bot will snap right away. It never seems to fail. The bot snaps on turn 4 or 5 when they have a lead. They don't even think about the consequences of the game because it's just a computerized program. It's not anything special. They immediately snap, and if you got a good chance to still win, because frankly, in that situation, you usually do, then you stick around and you don't leave. So those are basically my best how to spot a bot tips. They're gonna have simple, easy names like Finley or Ezekiel, or just like a person's first name or something weird like Campy. They make really dumb plays that don't make any sense at all. They always tend to snap on something like turn 4 or turn 5 because they are completely convinced that they're going to win because they have the lead at that point. Now, some tips to kind of combat against bots: make sure that you don't snap them back when you have a really obvious lead because they will retreat right away. Another thing that bots tend to do is they tend to act immediately. So if you end up playing something really quick and end turn, it's usually unlikely that your human counterpart did the same exact thing and acted in the same amount of quick time, but the bot always acts right away. Now, these tips are not always going to be correct. Sometimes, you know, you're going to run into a human that doesn't really know what they're doing, obviously, especially in the early goings, or sometimes you're going to run into a person who has like a generalized name like Greg and they might be a real person. But all in all, the tips in this video are going to help you to really understand like how bots react and how they act. Generally speaking, the advice is correct. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below if I missed any other tells that bots give that I didn't see at the time of playing and I kind of forgot. And if you're enjoying the beginner content, we have a bunch more videos. I'm going to link another one at the end, and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out the channel a lot and it would mean the world to me. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day.